In today's video, I'm so excited to share with all of you 7 daily habits that I practice to keep myself feeling healthy and cared for as a busy mom of 2. Hi there, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life, but everything we do in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I'm a holistic nutritionist and a nutritional practitioner. So as moms, we tend to put ourselves last, on the very bottom of the list. And when it comes to priorities, our health and wellness definitely isn't at the top of mind. I found myself after I had my first child, my son, all of a sudden, everything that I knew and loved about my health and wellness routine was gone overnight. And it took me months and months to get back to a place where I finally felt confident, not only in my new routine and new normal, but also finding the cadence and the rhythm of becoming a mom and also being able to take care of myself. So I hope that you'll find value in this video and some of the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you today. I hope that you will also be able to incorporate these into your routines to ensure that you're not only feeling healthy, but you're feeling cared for. Ultimately, when we care for ourselves and our bodies and our mind and our nutrition, we overall tend to feel more cared for as a person and of course as a mom. I always say, and you've heard this saying a million times, that we cannot pour from an empty cup. So I'm going to take you throughout my day. I'm going to share these 7 habits with you, and I hope that you guys enjoy. Okay, so if you're a subscriber of my channel for any period of time, then you're not shocked that this is my first habit, and that is to make a daily smoothie. I call them my insurance policy because we are able to cram in so much nutrition into our blender. It's quick, it's easy for us moms on the go. You can drink it in the car on your way to school drop off. You can have it around with you during the morning when you're getting your kids dressed and getting your kids ready for school. It's just so simple to pack in a bunch of nutrition. And to be honest with you, the smoothie that I'm sharing with you guys right now today is the whatever I have left in my refrigerator smoothie, because we are going grocery shopping here in a little bit, and I will be sharing some different tips that involve that as well. But this just shows you that you can take whatever vegetables and greens and fruit that you have left in your refrigerator and throw it into the blender. So I have about 2.5 cups of spinach here. I have 1 thumb size of ginger root, and this is organic, so no need to peel off the skin. I have 1 baby Persian cucumber. I have 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds, and then I have about 3/4 of a cup of baby carrots. I'm going to throw that all into here. We're actually completely out of bananas, so legitimately it's whatever you have in your refrigerator. Throw it into the blender, and then I'm going to be adding in about 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of frozen mango and some coconut water. So honestly, this is just such a habit of mine that sometimes, even if it's like 2 p.m. and I for some reason didn't have a chance to make a morning smoothie, I will make it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be something that we're conscious of, and even if it's only something you can do 5 days a week, give that a try. And to be honest with you, the fact that so often so much of our produce goes to waste in the refrigerator, that blending it into a smoothie is a great way to avoid food waste. And it's a wonderful way for us as busy moms to get a little extra nutrition into our kids. I swear I say this in so many videos, you're probably sick of hearing it, but I say that smoothies are my insurance policy, not only for myself, but for my children. By the time they get to school in the morning, they've had about 3/4 of their entire daily value of vegetables. And so to think about that by 8 a.m., you and especially your children have had almost their full day of vegetables, sign me up for that. So by throwing everything in the blender, having as a quick drink that I can have in the car or as I'm running around the house, absolutely one daily habit that I cannot live without. Okay, so now that we've had our smoothie, which is undoubtedly my #1 first tip and one habit that I cannot live without, I call it my insurance policy, as I mentioned. But now that we've had our smoothie, the next habit that we could absolutely practice every single day to feel healthier and more cared for is to take our vitamins. So you've heard me talk about so many of these vitamins here on my channel. I have an entire video dedicated to the supplement industry. If you want to learn more, I will go ahead and link that for you up in the cards. But I get my morning lineup. This is one thing that really helps me. So I've had my smoothie. I've had a ton of nutrition in that. But as we know, there's soil depletion. Our foods, unfortunately, just do not carry the same weight that they used to 20, 30, especially 50 years ago. So with that, I do always recommend supplementation to fill in those nutritional gaps. Likewise, none of us, myself included, are eating 3 perfect meals 365 days a year. So supplementation is really important. This is my absolute favorite multivitamin. It is by Mary Ruth's. I've talked about this at length for over 5 years. If you go back to my very first video that I filmed here on my channel 5 years ago, please don't judge. I talked about Mary Ruth's vitamins. This is something I've personally been on since 2015. So I love Mary Ruth's. I take that in the morning. I also take liquid chlorophyll. This is an amazing detox tool. Likewise, it really helps support my energy throughout the day. Then I take 2 incredible herbs from Gaia Professionals line. I take their ashwagandha. I love this ashwagandha. I take their female hormone support. So I take those 2. And then I take, of course, a vitamin D. This is the one I'm currently using. I switch my supplements around a lot. I don't stay on anything for an extended period of time, except for Mary Ruth's. I like to switch up the brands and the dosages. It's really important for your body not to get used to something, and therefore you won't be able to absorb it as much. So these are a few things that I do. Then from Pure Encapsulations, I take this B12. This is a great one if you have any trouble methylating. Likewise, this is a great one just in general. It saves your body an extra step. And then I take my first bit of magnesium. I also take another round of this at night, but this is just my first dose that I take in the day. So I think that's everything. Wait, just kidding. Hold on. There are 2 more. There are 2 more that I take in the morning. Okay, so 2 more that I take in the morning from the Gaia Professional lines is the Chaste Tree Berry. This is one that I take for 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off, 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. Amazing for hormone support. Chaste Tree Berry is a lifesaver. And then lastly, I do tend to, I would say about 5 days a week, take this cognitive formula from Gaia Professionals, especially if I have a ton of calls and meetings with you guys. I've been meeting with so many of you lately. I'm honored. My practice is pretty much at capacity right now. It's just like crazy and such a pitch me moment. I'm beyond grateful for all of you guys, but this one has ginkgo, there's peppermint extract, the wild oats extract. There's so many incredible herbs in here that are great for cognition. So this is right now my current morning lineup. Like I said, I switch things up. That's what's great about working with a natural health practitioner, is that we can take a look at your labs, we can see what you're missing, we can fill in those nutrient gaps specific to you. However, as a general rule of thumb, you will not go wrong by taking the Mary Ruth's. You will not go wrong with taking a vitamin D, a B12, a magnesium. With these ones, it's pretty much like generally across the board. These would definitely help you. If you're somebody who's looking for a little bit of just overall relaxation, anti-inflammation, adaptogenic help, ashwagandha is a great one. I also take rhodiola, but I take that at night. And then these other ones are just ones that are specific to me and some of my health and wellness goals. Then, while we're talking about supplementation, I get a lot of questions on Instagram about swallowing all of these pills. I don't have an issue swallowing pills, but if you do, this is like the biggest life hack. I share this all the time on Instagram. So if you're not following me over there, be sure to follow me, because I'm on there every day sharing lots of tips and tricks. But sparkling water, you guys, it's such a good life hack to help you swallow pills. If you feel nauseous after you swallow pills, those ones you should probably take with food, which is why I'm taking these after the smoothie. But if you feel nauseous after swallowing pills, or if you just have a hard time getting them down, the bubbles help tremendously during those times where like you might have a rough time getting like a big omega down or any other larger pills. This is a huge key because it helps me get like 20 pills sometimes down really, really quickly. So this is definitely a really good habit that I highly encourage all of you to do, is to take a peek at what you might need and consider taking some nutritional supplements. So I've washed out my blender, we've taken our supplements, and I've finished my sparkling water that I was saying is such a great hack to get down your supplements. And now I'm just hydrating. This is obviously, I know, something that seems so simple and intuitive. We find ourselves reaching for caffeine over and over throughout the day when oftentimes, quite frankly, we're just dehydrated. So staying hydrated is super important to me. And not only that, I like to mix things up. If you've watched my channel, then you know that I love to add fresh mint and lemon and lime to my water. It makes it just more of like a spa experience, and I find myself drinking more of it. Speaking of drinking more, I love to drink water out of a straw. I know for like anti-aging purposes, they say that it's not great to do that. However, I would rather drink more water than worry about the straw aspect currently at this phase of my life, because I find myself drinking more of the water if I have it here in a cute bottle that makes me feel excited to drink from, and if it has a straw. And really that like 2-3 p.m. slump that I feel like so many of us hit, if I find myself in that position, I try my best to just chug a bottle of water, really check in and see how I'm feeling, and then I will move on to a little bit of herbal tea. But water is so important, and definitely a healthy habit that I felt that I needed to include in this video. So I want to take a quick break and say that I would be completely remiss if I didn't say thank you to so many new faces. There's over 3,000 of you who've decided to follow along over the last week, and I am beyond honored that you're here. Last week, I had a chance and the honor to collaborate with my beautiful and amazing friend Tiffany Beeston from Beauty and the Beestons, and due to that collaboration, there has been a massive influx of new faces that have decided to join this community. Honestly, I'm honored, I'm shocked, I'm overjoyed, and I'm really giddy. Like, I've been replying and communicating with you guys in the comment section on last week's video, and by the time I'm done replying, my face hurts from smiling. So please know that I am so grateful that you're here. I hope that you find value in my channel and that you're able to get a little bit of inspiration to potentially take a few baby steps to leading a healthier lifestyle and ultimately feeling better as a mom or as a woman or as anybody who's following along. I hope that you'll find a little bit of inspiration to lead and live your best life that has you feeling fulfilled. And please know that I'm so honored and grateful, and that I hope you're enjoying today's video. All right, so I'm gonna sit down with my water and talk to you guys about my next habit, because this one is one I feel like we don't often think about, but when we start incorporating this into our lives and into our daily practices, it really can make a massive difference in our overall health and how we feel, regardless of where you may fall on your health and wellness journey and what you could be potentially dealing with. This next habit can make an impact regardless of where you are. And so that habit is including greens in at least 2 meals a day. And so oftentimes when I say this to people, and I say this to my clients over Zoom, they look at me like, what? Like, how could I eat that much greens? Like, I just don't want to sit down all day and eat salad. Like, I don't have the time to make a salad. I don't have time to sit down and eat a big massive bowl of salad. And it may not be what you think. So for example, we already made our smoothie this morning. There's one meal where you include greens. So right there, you're already 50% done. Then I highly encourage you to think outside of the box. And I've shared this in last week's video, the way that I include greens. I share this over on Instagram all of the time, how I include greens, but there are some really unique ways to include greens. So one example is whenever my family is having spaghetti, which we love to have spaghetti, we make it out of red lentil noodles, brown rice, or quinoa noodles, and oftentimes I'll do zoodles, but if I don't, one of my favorite things to do is to put that over a bed of arugula. So in my bowl, I will have a big bed of arugula, and then I will put the noodles on top, and then I will go ahead and put my sauce on top of that. So I'm still enjoying the same meal with my family, but I'm getting a fresh serving of greens with that. And additionally, I'm getting a ton of extra plant fiber and phytonutrients. Another way to look at it is, this is something I was just saying to a client on the phone yesterday. She was saying how they love to have breakfast for dinner in her family. And I challenged her. I said, well, what if you picked up the spring mix from Costco, which is exactly this, for $3.99. You can get this massive carton of greens from Costco. And to help with food waste, I challenge you to think of unique ways to use it. So she said to me, well, we love to have breakfast for dinner like multiple nights a week, so I'm not really sure how I can make that any healthier. And I said to her, like, well, what are you having for breakfast for dinner? Like eggs, a breakfast meat, like what does that really encompass? And she said hash browns, eggs, some sort of meat, and maybe it's like toast or something, or pancakes or toast, some sort of carb. I said to her, okay, well, what if for the eggs you have hard-boiled eggs, and for the breakfast meat you slice it up with the hard-boiled eggs, you put it over a bed of greens. Additionally, Cascadian Farms makes a root vegetable like hash browns. I will put an image here on the screen for you guys. We love that mix from Cascadian Farms. So I asked her to pick that up in the freezer section, whether it be from Whole Foods or Kroger's or Sprouts. They have this mix everywhere. I said you could put that over your greens with your hard-boiled eggs, your breakfast sausages. You could slice up half an avocado and put some salsa on top of it. Then you're having breakfast for dinner with your family, but we have completely changed what that meal looks like for her, and we have taken health from here to here. And I said, and then of course, if you do want to have the pancake or the waffle or the piece of toast, whatever that is, we could have the toast with some avocado on it. We could really find unique ways to healthify it up. But that is my healthy habit, is that I always look at whatever meal I'm eating and I think, could I put this over top of a bed of greens? Or could I just enjoy it with a salad? Or could I blend it in my blender and drink it like my smoothie? So when you start to think through your day like this, I really want to share with you guys and show you that being a healthy mom isn't as complicated as we may think. Sometimes I feel like Instagram and even YouTube, and I really try hard not to be part of this problem and more part of the solution, but sometimes I think we see health and wellness is this really unattainable goal, especially as moms. We see these really beautiful acai bowls all over our Instagram feed, or these really homemade amazing meals from scratch that look like they took hours in the kitchen. And that can be really discouraging, and it makes us not even want to start the journey. But honest to goodness, my goal here is to share with you guys easy ways where you can pick up food and ingredients at any grocery store across the country. It does not matter where you shop. The ingredients are attainable. You don't need to search high and low for most of them. Some of them I do like to have something that's a little bit more nutrient dense that maybe you need to order online at like Thrive Market at a really great discount. But my goal is to share with you here easy, attainable ways to incorporate health and wellness into a busy mom's lifestyle. And so, grabbing a massive carton of greens for $3.99 at Costco, think of ways to include these greens at least twice a day instead of letting them wilt in your refrigerator. Moving into my next healthy habit that I absolutely cannot live without, and that is prepping produce. So this is something that I like to do on the weekends, but also I do micro prepping throughout the week. I just come home after dropping Ronan off from school. After I wrap up my client calls in the morning, I'll throw a sweet potato in the oven, I'll throw broccoli, I'll throw zucchini, I'll throw onions, asparagus, whatever I have. I find myself doing this right around lunchtime. That way I know I always have freshly roasted vegetables either for lunch or for dinner, and that has just become such a staple habit of mine. Additionally, I like to prep a grain on the weekend, whether that be buckwheat or quinoa, and today is Sunday when I'm filming this video. So I am going to, of course, go ahead and prep this. This is something that is definitely a key habit of mine, is roasting vegetables, steaming vegetables, sauteing vegetables, however you want to eat them, but having fresh vegetables for me on a daily basis that I either pull out of the oven, pull out of the steam basket, or pull off of the pan is really important. It just makes me feel energized to eat an abundant amount of plant food. We know that 90% of our neurotransmitters that impact our mood are made in our digestive system. So it's important to feed our gut flora the food that they're really yearning for. And so you can never go wrong with a beautiful array of vegetables. All right, guys, so it's the end of the day, and I want to walk you through my last 2 steps and habits that I do to ensure that I feel like the best version of myself. And the first one was a big game changer for me after I became a mom, and that is taking either a shower or a bath, but 99% of the time it is a shower before bed. So I was somebody who always took a shower when I first woke up in the morning because I am not innately a morning person. I say that here on my channel all of the time, and we'll get into that here in a little bit, but I am not innately a morning person. So waking up and taking a shower was a really great way to get me energized and ready for the day. So I would hop in the shower, grab my coffee, and then be out the door and ready for work. Then when I became a mom, obviously mornings are cramped, especially when you have a newborn baby. And if those of you who might be new here, my husband used to travel pre-COVID. He traveled Monday through Friday. So I was a solo mom every single morning. So the mornings and the scheduling was really tight that I decided to start taking a shower before bed. And oh my goodness, it changed everything for me. And now I love it as a relaxation tool. Honestly, it's just a really great way for me to unwind. I physically am able to wash off the day, and then kind of mentally and emotionally, I use it as a time to release any stress or anything that may be hanging over my head. I take it into the shower and I don't let it leave with me. I honestly wash everything away. If I'm feeling agitated by a situation, or I'm upset with myself on the way I handled something with the kids, or there's something that may be going on busy with work or a family member or a friend, anything that I may be carrying, once I get out of the shower, I do not allow myself to carry it in the same capacity that I did when I stepped into the shower. So taking a shower for me at night is definitely one of my favorite habits and things I look forward to. So I'm going to be hopping into the shower after I'm done filming this portion. And now for my final habit that, honest to goodness, I feel like is the most important of all of my habits that keep me healthy, and that is to wake up before my children. Now, I know it seems odd that I'm bringing that up at the end of the night, right when I'm about to get into the shower, but I will say that I feel like my evening routine of the shower and unwinding is indicative of my ability to wake up early. And I have said this so many times here on my channel, but many of you are new. I am not a morning person by any means. Naturally, I am definitely a night owl. I could stay up until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. That is just naturally my body's hours, and then I could sleep a little bit later. However, since becoming a mom, I quickly realized that if I wanted to have any time alone in the morning, I had to wake up before my kids. I'm the type of person who likes to have my warm water with lemon. If you saw last week's video of what I eat in a day, then you're probably well aware of what I'm about to say, but I like to have my warm water with lemon or my celery juice, and then I like to have my coffee, and I do like to have at least like a half to a 3/4 of a cup of coffee in me before my kids wake up. Additionally, I do a lot of work in the morning. I work on YouTube, I work on behind the scenes, I work on planning out videos, I work with my video editor on getting content uploaded for you guys for him to work on for me. I do a lot of my client work and meal plans and supplementation recommendations or reviewing of blood work in the morning time. So waking up early for me is kind of a means to an end. It's something I have to do in order to get all of the things done that need to happen. I need to have a little bit of quiet time because Sawyer's only in school 2 mornings a week. And so for me, as a working stay-at-home mom, I do need that time in the morning. And it gives my mind and my body some time to wake up as well, which I noticed that I was a lot more present, calm, and to be honest with you, just like a nicer mom to my children when I have a little bit of alone time in the morning. That's just what serves me. So next to the smoothies, I would say that this habit is probably most important, that those 2 really stand out to me because they're definitely anchors in my day and something that if I miss, my entire day feels off. So 7 days a week, even if it's the weekend, I wake up before the kids. 7 days a week, I really do find myself craving and yearning for that green smoothie. And all of these other habits are things that I've curated and developed throughout the years that honestly really serve me in a way of feeling nourished and healthy and cared for. And those are things that as a mom, I feel like we infrequently feel. So any opportunity that I can feel those things, I will jump on it and seize them. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. And if you liked this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would give it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.